I'm just going to go ahead and say this because I feel like it's rough. I mean, it didn't happen to me, right? I'm sitting here. I'm just freaking fine. But it just bothered me so much for the past several days. I was watching. I prefer the CNN International channel as opposed to CNN. Number one, because it's international, and I can get so effing bored with. Right, I need something else. Plus, that's kind of what I'm interested in. But said they had their correspondent in Syria days after the I can't even remember the initials, HDS, I think. Ran Bashar al-Assad out of power, sent him to fucking Russia. Thank God. I mean, this guy's been an asshole. The whole fucking, 50 years of that. But, so she's on the ground in Syria, like in Damascus or outside of it. And they go into a prison, when I first, I won't get into that. When I first heard that, all the prisoners had been released from all the prisons, I thought, well, I mean, if they're political prisoners, that's great. If they're like serial rapists, I don't know if that'd be, but I don't know how it worked. Maybe, I mean, his corrupt fucking regime, but I'll just go ahead and say this because it was just so rough. I mean, it's hard for me to even say it, and I sure as shit wasn't there. But she goes in to one of these infamous political prisoner facilities, and it's just the most fucked up thing I ever heard or saw. I mean, well, that's not, I mean, whatever. But so they're going through, and like all these, cell doors, jail cell doors are open or whatever, and they find one that's padlocked or locked, whatever. And the soldier, the rebel fighter or whatever that she's with, shoots the lock off the jail cell door. And they go in and they see this like mattress with a blanket on it. And I don't know why this is so hard for me, it's just, I don't, but, and so they go in and there's like there's her and presumably that soldier and then another person in the room, and they don't know if they just think it's an empty bed or whatever, and they're like, hello, whatever, and they say it like 4 times or something, and I don't know, I can't remember which person kind of like jostles the little flimsy mattress on the floor, and there's a dude in there. I mean, I don't know his age. I don't know. I can't remember. Well, I don't know if they said, but I don't know. 45, 50 years old, something like that. And he was a political prisoner, and he'd been in that particular prison. He'd been in like 3 or 4 prisons, but this one he'd been in for like 3 months or something. And he was, he what's most distracting, the look on his face, his reaction was one of true bewilderment. Like not like, oh my God, thank God you're here, or oh my God, you're gonna shoot me in the head. Like, he literally he had been in there, he said, for like 4 days without food or water. And the room, you don't even have the room, you can imagine it wasn't a great room. And I mean, so, but I don't know what had happened, that he was unaware, because other people, assumably in that prison, had been freed by the Syrian rebel army. I mean, I guess they really didn't get into the details of that, but I mean, they didn't find anyone else in the prison except him. And I just thought, I mean, what a crazy freaking life that brought you to being in a concrete bunker jail cell while the fall of the Assad regime is going on, and your downfall is that the fall of the Assad regime means no matter how shitty they were treating you, they don't have any bread because they left. And you're locked in this jail cell, and all of a sudden a lady from fucking CNN shows up and a guard shoots open the thing, and you're probably just laying there being like, I don't know what the fuck. And they take him out, and he's, he's in shock, basically, I mean, he's like, oh, he can't believe, he hasn't seen daylight in months and hasn't been free in years, and he just can't freaking believe it. And what are the, it's like he is not a puppy, but if you found a puppy that had been abandoned, and there was and then you came across it, and you're like, oh man, just hold on and we'll get you some water, and they got him some water and some food and stuff. I don't know. It makes me really appreciate that I'm sitting here with some fucking smartphone in my hand being a dickhead. I don't mean to use such language, but, and this guy, I mean, I'm not saying CNN rescued him, but had it not been for, then perhaps that this guy, he might have been freed under the rebellion. But if that guy hadn't shot that lock off, I mean, I don't know. I've gone 4 days without eating, but I've never been in fucking Bashar al-Assad's prisons, so I'm not comparing the two. So I just find that miraculous, and it was miraculous but disturbing, because you just think, well, what, I mean, how many tens of thousands have been tortured and killed in his prisons? But for this one man, what if not but for? I don't know. I hope he has a good life after this. All right. I guess that's it. But, man, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't even want to go to prison in the county I live in. But this poor bastard had to deal with years of this shit. And so I hope he's okay. All right, bye.